All right. All right. Welcome, everyone. Please mute your call. A friendly reminder, please turn off all cell phones except for emergency personnel. Welcome to the Bellevue Common Council meeting for Tuesday, May 28th, 2024. Michelle, please take roll call.
Mayor Johnson?
Yes.
President Giordani?
Yes.
Member Carrero?
Yes.
Member Lee?
Yes.
Member Mahoney?
Yes.
Member Obanoff?
Yes.
Member Shea?
Yes.
Thank you. Finding out the regular meeting notice and agenda are posted in accordance with Idaho Code 74204 within 48 hours prior to the meeting at Bellevue City Hall, Post Office, and city's website on May 23rd, 2024.
I move that the notice for the May 28th, 2024 regular meeting was completed in accordance with the Idaho Code, section 74-204.
Second.
All in favor?
Yes.
Thank you. Item 2, call for conflict is outlined in Idaho Code 74404. Any conflict on tonight's agenda with anybody on the council? Thank you. This time I will open up public comment for items of concern not on the agenda. Again, these are items that are not on the agenda that need to be addressed. I'll kind of kick it off. First off, I would like to thank all the staff and council for supporting or getting everything ready and put out for the water bond, the materials to educate what we were trying to accomplish, share the water project. And then I would also like to thank, the majority of the voters out there that approved it. It was a huge number. It was probably the largest number. It was bigger than our previous November election. So we had a great voter turnout. I appreciate everybody taking the time to support that and allowing us to move forward with that project. So Bellevue has a long-term sustainable water source. Also, as we just passed Memorial Day, we are looking forward to Labor Day, and we are going to kick off our Labor Day celebration. We've just started some of the planning stuff. We will have vendor applications and sponsorship applications here at City Hall. We're also going to have nominations for, we call it the
Heritage Court.
not the Heritage Court, who's the main
Grand Marshal.
The Grand Marshal, thank you. So anybody in the community, and we know this is a Bellevue celebration, but South Valley, the Triangle, anyone that has close ties and connection with the city of Bellevue, we would accept applications and nominations for the Grand Marshal. But we are looking to do it a 2-day event, be about a half day on Sunday and then a full day on Monday. So we'll have some music in the afternoon, vendors can set up, and I'll be discussing this more with staff tomorrow and how we're going to proceed with that. But it used to be a 2-day event. We're going to try to, make a big deal of it because we should celebrate ourselves. We have a great community, and we want to make sure everybody has a chance to get out, see each other, and we host a proper event.
And if memory serves, parade's on Monday, right?
Yeah.
Parade,
Okay,
parade
that will
will
be the same.
Well, one time we went to Sunday because we wanted to get Saturday parade people to do a parade on Sunday, but it just doesn't work out.
Yeah,
Yeah, no.
too many conflicts.
It'll
yeah.
just be, the vendors will set up on Sunday afternoon, and from like 1 to 3, 1 to 4, we'll work with the marshals and come up with a better timeline, but they'll be set up overnight. Some music early on Sunday, try to keep it not too late, and then Monday, we'll see what happens. And
Fun.
but trying to extend out a little bit, see if we can get a few more vendors in here having a 2-day event, and just a good day to hang out with our community. Other than that, I don't think I have anything else to say. So any other public comment out there? Not seeing any here in the city hall and none on Zoom. At this time, I'll go ahead and close public comment. Item number 4, consent agenda. We have the approval of the common council meetings, minutes from March 11th. Claims and approvals from May 14th through May 28th, consideration of resolution 2378, confirming the appointment of Aaron Hughley to the Bellevue Planning and Zoning Commission. We have a request for funds from the marshal's office to repair and just do some preventive maintenance on one of their vehicles. Our department head reports and the treasurer reports. So any questions about the consent agenda? Okay, so there's no minutes on March 11th. So we have the claims and items B through F.
I don't have a question per se, I just would love a little background on Aaron, just a little introduction of Aaron.
Is Aaron here? Aaron, please introduce
Wonderful.
yourself.
Yeah, welcome.
Well, what would you like to know?
Well, nice to see you, nice to meet you.
We know.
Love to know kind of your background and your interest for being on Bellevue Planning and Zoning Commission.
Sure. Well, my background, my wife and I, and our 3 kids, we moved to the valley 6.5 years ago from Montana. Personally, I run a home inspection business here in the valley. Kurt knows that.
Excellent job.
We've been in Bellevue itself for 4.5 years, and we just really love the community. I know John Kurtz a little bit personally through kids, and he asked me one day if I would have any interest in it. And honestly, I would love to do it. Just really want to kind of ingrain myself a little bit more and get to know the community a little bit more myself. So.
Yeah, so John gave me 3 applicants, all of them were very solid. I spoke with them over the phone and just kind of got a little bit of background. I thought with Aaron's background in inspections and just working in some of that industry, he would be a great asset. And he aligns a lot with the philosophies that I did. I came to P&Z first to learn about the community and get involved. And now look where I'm at, so no, he has the same idea where we want to do smart growth, just do it slow, deliberate, and make sure we're growing Bellevue the way the best that we can for the community. And I think he has I think it'll be a great asset. And me and John discussed all 3 applicants, and we agreed that at this time we think he'll be the best one. The other 2 are definitely still on my high list. So if there are other changeovers, I have a couple of backups coming up too. So it's a nice time to see people volunteering and wanting to participate in our city government. So
Awesome.
and thank you for being here today.
Thank you.
I'm an open book, so if you have any questions, let me know.
I vouched for him as well. I was curious, so I called him over the weekend and just was curious about his overall approach and why he wanted to be involved. So I didn't want to wait till today. It was, so
Pretty extensive conversation.
yeah.
Just another question for the marshal. That vehicle, is it, how was it, or 2018, that's right, it says it on here. You think, seems like just a big fix, that'll get taken care of. Any other problems with the vehicle, like? is
So
it-
literally, it's a water pump issue,
Okay,
which in 80% of vehicles, a water pump issue is a $200 fix. Unfortunately, with this vehicle, it is driven by the timing chain. And with it being gear driven, they have to tear half the motor apart, and while they're in there, it wouldn't make any sense to not replace things that wear out. So we're having them do preventative while we're there. That's why, I mean, the job itself is a 13-hour job. And I can change the
yeah.
tire.
No, I'm happy to hear you're gonna do some preventative stuff, because that's what I was trying to kind of deduce from that, is that
Yeah,
if there's more that can be done where you're not having to take that out again.
yeah, if
so,
it was
great.
an engine issue, like a full engine, then we'd have a different discussion, but it's a water pump.
Yeah.
And
It works
unfortunately,
fine, other than
Vehicles.
So
it
is,
leaks antifreeze.
is this something where, did you get a couple of quotes for this? It looks like we use these guys a lot.
We do use these guys quite a bit. I can tell you they're gonna be cheaper than the Ford dealership.
What about the other guys in Bellevue?
What about Dirks? They're pretty reasonable.
We'll stick with Dick Yorks.
Okay.
and one thing I do wanna
That's
bring
what I
up,
was just curious.
and one thing I do wanna bring up, this is a line item. We have preventive maintenance, we have
Yeah.
regular maintenance in our line items, and I think it's a little bit, I think it's a bit of a waste of our time that we approve it in our budget, and then we have to have our department heads come back in
And we
to
do it.
ask for it when it's in a line item. I mean, I think moving forward, I would like to see line items that are previously approved. Department heads are gonna use their best decision to find the best vendor or what they need to do, but it's already been peer approved in the budget. And so to have another discussion on it, I don't really see the point. I would like to just make sure that we keep the vehicles on the road as quickly as possible, and then we can review it in the financials. We'll see it in the expenditures, and we can still have documentation and discuss it if needed.
So is this just because it's a certain dollar amount? Is that why?
Yeah, why
No,
the West
I think it was just, it's the way it's been.
Oh,
Okay.
I think previous people to make sure there was a
more oversight or something?
control maybe is a better word. If I want to be blunt about it, I think to have more reins on the horse. This was the way it was done in the past, but I think we have good department heads. I want to trust them in their decision making and allow them to work their own budgets. And if it's if it's in their line items and it's already been pre-approved, I don't see our time spent here to discuss it as a
Makes sense to me.
significant need. And like
Yeah.
with the chief's truck where we had to do the 35,000, again, we had to pull money, you had to move around. That one's worth having a discussion, but something that's in a maintenance plan already, I think we can trust our department heads and we can just review the financials. And if you have a question on it, they can be brought up in the financials.
I think a lot of cities, that's why it's on the consent agenda, because you have to vote on extending money, but a lot of, if you have a problem with a specific item on a consent agenda, you can ask to pull
Yeah.
from the consent agenda, then you can have a discussion about it at a time, but then just vote for the stuff that you agree on, and that's what a lot of cities.
Just not a good way.
I'm all about having a good conversation about it, but if it's not necessary and it's already been pre-approved, I don't want to waste our time on it.
I think when you go line by line and ask us if we have any questions on it, though, I think that opens us up to having questions on it. So I think it's important, and if that's the way we want to move forward, then it doesn't necessarily have to be in the bulk of thing that we have a discussion on. So I trust your guys' best judgment, but I think when you go down and ask for questions, it opens up the questions. So if that's the direction we want to go, just tell us what direction we want to take the discussion.
Well, if you have it in the books already,
Yeah.
you can tell, well, what's this line item, or not line item, but what's this costing this much?
Yeah.
You know,
Cars aren't my forte, that's why I asked. Thanks for explaining, but sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Okay. That's good.
I didn't see a streets department report again.
There's just not a whole lot going on right now. They're doing minor fixes. We got the street sweeper from the borough. And so they've been sweeping streets. They're filling potholes with dry mix right now. They're just still waiting to make sure everything is dry enough that they can do some actual fixes on the potholes, but we're trying to keep ahead of them as much as possible. Second Street got graded, which from Second Street off of Chestnut down to the lot behind the Valley Country Store. We got that fixed up a little bit. We're just trying to keep them busy, doing some parks work. They're repairing benches today. They've been replacing some 2x4s, painting things up, and they're staying busy, but he just really doesn't have much.
Definitely noticed them out there.
So, I mean,
yeah.
no, Casey and his crew are doing well, and like I said earlier, we just did hire another person, so he has, we have a new CDL driver, so that'll help us in the winter. And then we have a little bit closer to being full staff there, so they're doing good work. Equipment's looking good, and last month we approved that trailer, and again, that was just money that they had sold off old equipment and, an old trailer that didn't fit our needs, and now we have a nice trailer that does fit our needs, so. He's doing great work, and, I can make sure next time if you want a summary of what he's doing, we can get one in there, but he just really hasn't done anything that he feels is out of the ordinary, other than.
Well, streets is always such a big one for Bellevue, so it's nice to see something written down, so
Okay.
that would be my.
No, I mean, we're just so short on our budget to do any large projects, and the price of, mix and stuff is ridiculous, so to do like, to do a mile of, chip sealing right now, I think the estimates are multi-million, so at least $1.5 million or more just to do it, a section of chip sealing. And so we are looking at what we can do with what we do have. But hopefully the transportation study is underway. We'll be identifying some improvements and some changes, and then once that's finally, and we accept it, we'll be able to apply for certain grants that can hopefully fix some of our streets.
I'll move to approve the consent agenda. There's no other questions?
Second.
Member Jordan,
Yes.
Member Carrera,
Yes.
Member Whitmer,
Yes.
Member Shea,
Yes.
Member Mahoney,
Yep.
Member Reagan.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Item 5, parks fees. So this is our annual request for a fee waiver for Memorial Park. Of $980 for Monday and Wednesdays from June 10th through August 21st for the summer food free lunch program. This is sponsored by the Hunger Coalition. We have waived this in the past, and you know, it's something that I think we should continue to do, as it provides some of the only food these people get during the summertime when they're not at school. It's a great program. The library works with them, and we've sponsored it. And you know, we spoke before about we do need upkeep and we do need the fees for our parks, but this is one program that I think benefits the community as a whole and is worth the waiver.
I agree.
Kenny? Yes, sir.
So fire department goes up once or maybe twice a year while they're doing it. And, you know, they pull up their truck and basically the kids sit around, you know, they're not really using the park other than, you know, somebody going by there. Yeah, so it's not like you can't have a picnic while they're doing it, and, you know, they have their vehicle, maybe 2 trucks, or a blue truck and one, yeah. So it's not you know, it's not like they're having a festival and you know, the park shut down for an hour, you know, might be an hour.
And Blanca, do you have anything you want to add?
Hello, thank you so much for the invitation. My name is Blanca Romero Green and I'm with the Hunger Coalition. If you guys have any questions, I just pulled some stats for last year. In Bellevue, we were giving out about 57 lunches every day, and that's for kids and adults. Adults can pay $1 to access our lunches. We served over 600 lunches in 11 weeks at that location, because Bellevue has been our one location, and because it's the park and we have a couple of daycares that are close by and after school kids, or not after school kids, but summer camps that kind of come by. It is a nice meeting point for a lot of the children who are in the valley or in the area. We partner with over 20 different organizations who provide enrichment programs at the Bloom Truck, including the community library as well. Just to continue to give those kids access to something instead of just sitting at home all day. And I'm open to any questions if you guys have any.
Could we maybe exchange the park for being a sponsor of your program?
In like what way?
Literature or anything like that, or banners, I don't know. Just a thought,
Oh, just having Bellevue on some of your outreach material,
yeah.
City of Bellevue.
Oh,
We
okay.
participate in
Yeah,
stuff.
so, yeah, instead of us donating $500 to get on your literature to have our logo,
Yeah,
you
and then lieu of, yeah.
in lieu of just put us on there as a community partner and sponsor.
Yeah, let me take that back to my managers and see if we can work with that.
Sure.
Yeah, I'd love to do that.
I saw, well, like, and have gone to Bloom Truck, and every summer, there's so many people, and I know it's a big impact for a lot of the children who don't, well, their parents are working multiple jobs, and it's quite the one thing they look forward to.
And it's great because when we pull up, as soon as the blue truck's pulling up, kids are already getting lined up and they're ready for us. They're ready to go.
It's like the ice cream truck.
Yeah.
but better.
I like your placement where you guys park through because the tree creates so much shade in that area. And like the chief said, you know, it's not like it's not like a full park rent out and all that. So it's really inclusive and actually draws people in versus, you know, renting the park out for a specific event. So definitely appreciate what you do.
I would take a motion.
I move, sorry, I'm not on the right page, but I move to approve waiving the Memorial Park fees of $980 for Monday and Wednesdays from June 10th, 2024 through August 21st, 2024 for the summer food/free lunch program.
Second.
Member Shea,
Yes.
Member Mahoney.
Yep.
Member Lady,
Yes.
Member Omenaught,
Yes,
Member Cordero,
Yes.
President Devine.
Yes.
All right, thanks very much, and thank you. I appreciate you being here, Bjorn. Okay, moving under new business, consideration of request from South Tacoma Way LLC for a lot line readjustment for the properties located at 305, 309, and 313 Main Street, Bellevue, Idaho, to abandon the three interior lot lines of Bellevue lots 2A, 3A, and 4A, Block P, to create one lot, 2AA, Block P, City of Bellevue. Great West Engineering action item. How are you, Cory?
Hi there. Would you just like me to just summarize, I guess, what this project is, and I'll just open it up for questions?
That would be perfect.
Okay, great. So this is fairly straightforward. So the applicant is proposing to remove the interior lot lines of those three parcels, essentially creating just one aggregated parcel. So with these lot line adjustments, we don't really get any other information regarding what type of development is being planned there. Really all we're looking at here is essentially an exemption to the subdivision review for lot line readjustment, and making sure that it complies with your zoning and subdivision, mostly your zoning regulations for lot sizes and lot frontage. So that's pretty much it. If you have any questions, I'm available.
so Courtney, has to do with Mr. Swanson, he's the one that has 9 units that wants to develop right there, is that what I understand?
We haven't received that application. I think it's maybe 8 units.
Okay. And the square footage of those units, has that been brought up at all yet?
No, not at the planning board level. I think they're right now thinking they would be 2-story units. Fairly large, but a lot of it kind of depends on, there's also that zoning text amendment going through. So some of the final product depends on what comes out of that zoning text amendment.
Okay.
And so Courtney, just so I understand, these interior lot lines are being abandoned because they can't meet setbacks, otherwise they can't
Correct.
build over a lot line, yeah, okay.
So, and again, without knowing like exactly what type of development, it's really just making sure that, so, for example, say Bellevue had lot size maximums which you don't, we would be looking for that as well to make sure that any lot line readjustments are also not creating lot sizes too big. But yeah, we aren't really considering any other, so the remaining like staff report regarding like a subdivision review, that wouldn't really apply here since this is more of an exemption. But it is, you know, it's nice extra information to know kind of the impact that a lot line readjustment could have.
It's not a public hearing.
No. I'm just glad they're putting something up there, cause it's a
Yeah.
piece of crap.
Well, I'm ready to move. Make a motion.
Any other discussion? All right, please, Diane.
I move to approve the application for a lot line readjustment submitted by South Tacoma Way LLC, wherein lots 2A, 3A, and 4A, block P, are combined to create a single lot 2AA. Finding the application meets all applicable standards and criteria outlined in Title 11.6.1 of the Bellevue subdivision ordinance with the following conditions. The applicant shall comply with all Bellevue Public Works requirements. The applicant shall comply with all state and local building codes. And the third is the applicant shall comply with all Bellevue Street Department requirements.
Second,
Member Guerrero,
yes.
Member Shea,
Yes.
Member Obanoff,
No.
Member Leahy,
Yes.
President Giordani,
No.
Member Mahoney.
Yeah.
Motion passes with 4 in favor and 2 opposed.
All right, thank you. Item B. The right one here. All right, item B, consideration request from KMAM Real Estate IDBEL LLC for a lot line readjustment for the properties located north of Kirtley Street and west and adjacent to State Highway 75, Bellevue, Idaho, to shift the southern boundary of KMAM lot number 1, block 1, southward to create 2 lots, lot 1A and 2A, block 1, KMAM. Courtney, or
Mayor,
Jerry,
members
yeah.
of the council, Jerry Gerbentz of Great West Engineering. This is a relatively straightforward lot line adjustment as well. Really what's happening is lot 1 and 2 are currently at 3.12 acres and 7.28 acres respectively. The proposal is to move the southern boundary of lot 1 to create lot 1A. And that would increase the lot size of 1A to 5.43 acres or 236,000 plus square feet. And then lot 2, which becomes lot 2A, would become 4.97 acres or 216,000 square feet plus. And we really just looked at it to make sure it complied with the zoning for minimum lot size and frontage, and both of these lots far exceed that. And with that, I'd be happy to try to answer any questions.
Sean, questions?
I think it's ready to go.
Jessica?
I guess my concern is just how large the buildings are going to be if they combine.
The buildings are set by code, they can't
Okay.
exceed
Okay.
a certain size, so
Okay.
the lot size and the building size do not correspond to each other.
Okay.
So it's gonna be, I
Our
would guess,
our largest building is 36,000 is what's permitted currently.
Are, this is just me asking everyone if they kind of notice, like, lots along that frontage, are they generally around 45 acres, or are they all different kind of sizes? Because there's nothing, basically on the opposite side is Flying Hat Ranch in the way, so it's
Right.
big and expansive.
Mhm.
We've got Kirtley Road coming down, this touches Kirtley Road on the south side,
Right.
correct, and then goes north.
Yep.
So right now it's 7 acres and 3 acres, and they're just making it even, kind of an even split,
Both of the lots will be
will be even,
identical size.
okay.
Yeah,
So the visual is a little more balanced,
yeah.
Mhm.
potentially, is kind of how
Yeah.
you look at that?
and then you look, I don't know what the lot size of Sun Valley Nursery is, but I mean, that one's a fairly large and they do expand quite a bit, so.
Yeah.
You go from the shopping center, I'll call it, for lack of a better term, with Atkinson's and that, to a little bit bigger parcel with Sun Valley, and then these two will be matching up. so.
Mhm.
I think it creates a little more balance in the lots when I
Yeah.
looked at it versus having like the big long stretch and the smaller one, so. And then regulations based on building code already exist, so that kind of is.
Building code's gonna come into play, and that's gonna keep the building size down. It's not like we're looking to bring in something exorbitant. It matches what's already allowed in town, and then we know we can't go much further north because that comes into the the airport overlay.
Yeah.
And,
Okay.
things that we're gonna start, Marshall.
Just for your information, don't quote me on the exact numbers. The Sun Valley Garden Center is about 4.62 acres. And
That's helpful.
the, Atkinson's is about 4 acres, so it's right in there,
That's really helpful, thank you for.
sorry.
No, yeah, no, that's good. That's kind of what I was thinking, was it doesn't balance with what's happening south of it, so I appreciate that.
There is kind of that, well, not kind of, there is that remnant parcel at the top of Kirtley, north of Sun Valley Garden Center, that it's ripe for development of some sort. But I don't know who the property owner is right now, but I did speak with the property owner of record previously, and he wasn't sure what he wanted to do with that parcel, so that is a smaller chunk than the garden center or Valley Market, but.
Yeah.
And, no, that's good to know, but
I thought maybe that should be donated to the city for something.
Different subject.
Well, you know, a welcome center like Haley has or something like that, I mean,
no. Is there any public comment on this?
no.
No, I think it already went through P and Z. I had public comment at that time, and so. This is just accepting what P and Z has presented us. Or,
Why do
Not.
they want to do this? Do we know?
I believe it's for a future development of the northernmost lot.
yeah, I think it's balancing the lot sizes, so you have
Mhm.
what I guess would be the dealership on one and whatever would be up north of it. So it just provides more area and just breaks it up a little cleaner.
I guess, yeah, the one thing, like thinking, since we don't have anybody in our community development or P and Z and thinking about, we have industrial in our south and we will have Carmelone up north and like. Looking at this and, you know, what's proposed for that additional lot, but like, right now, Bellevue does not have a full.
Business wise or
So
what can
studies have,
what they
yeah, so
do?
studies have shown if you don't build up your core with density first before you expand, you actually lose on property value. Then you cause more on your infrastructure. The further out that you go and you don't build up within, I'm just more concerned about the lot.
Do you understand what the zoning is currently of that property?
Right, but I also know we're gonna be updating our zoning and ordinances, so I don't know if that's going to change.
Well, it's,
which way
it's
they're gonna
business
do that.
zoned
Okay,
right now.
okay,
It's not zoned LI.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
And we're looking
Okay.
at businesses coming in and that just stays in consistence with what's going on that side of the road.
okay,
So
okay,
if you look at it from basically from Lucy's, even before Lucy's, because there's on the other side of Lucy's, there's the a title company, so that the mortgage company, I mean, we've got business all along that front line road, all the way up to that point. And it really can't be done in anything else because we're dealing with the airport overlay. It falls right underneath there. We want to be smart on what we put in there because it falls under our delineations for our two wells. So it's in the 3 to 6 and 6 to 10 year path of travel for our water for our two wells.
okay.
And when I was looking at that too, Jessica, because I had some more questions, like the previous one we just discussed, I looked at the density of that versus this. These are expansive lots in business zoning currently.
Okay,
And so knowing business will go into this business zone, I personally feel that balanced lots look a little bit more continuous with what's already existing, and that's why I had asked kind of the balance question.
got it.
And I think that it is business zoning, so that will regulate, it'll self-regulate what happens.
And with the text amendments that P and Z is now reviewing about the business district and density, that's gonna give us the density or potential component to bring that downtown core into a higher density areas. So, I mean, we're working on all of it. It's just applications coming at certain times. We need to move forward smartly. And I think, from my opinion and from what I understand, this meets what those areas are currently being used for and just adds to. It's not changing, and we just know that it's not a place for housing just because of the airport overlay. And a couple other things, and being right on 75, it's gonna be business.
Yeah.
So,
Thanks for explaining it a little bit more. Yeah.
Good discussion.
would you like to move forward with the motion?
Yes. Go for it.
I move to approve the application for lot line readjustment submitted by KMAM Real Estate IDBEL LLC, wherein the lot line between lots 1 and 2, block 1 is shifted south to increase the size of lot 1 from 3.12 acres to 5.43 acres and decrease the size of lot 2 from 7.28 acres to 4.97 acres. Finding the application meets all applicable standards and criteria outlined in Title 11.6.1 of the Bellevue subdivision ordinance with the following conditions. The applicant shall comply with all Bellevue Public Works requirements. The applicant shall comply with all state and local building codes. The applicant shall comply with all Bellevue Street Department requirements.
Second.
Member Overton,
Yes.
Member Leahy,
Yes.
President Jordan,
Yes.
Member Guerrero,
Yes.
Member Mahoney,
Yes.
Member Shea,
Yes.
motion passes unanimously.
All right, thank you, everyone. I think it's our last item. Consideration of resolution 2379, a resolution of the city of Bellevue, Idaho, authorizing the treasurer to release $71,441 from Strayhorn Phase 2 bond savings, LGIP 4037 to Strayhorn Partners LLC. Shelley?
Yeah, this is the biggest chunk of money left that we're holding for Strayhorn, and they completed What was it they completed on this one?
Wednesday.
Is the installation of the fencing and
Yeah, all the fencing and stuff, so, we basically hold the cost plus another 50%, so it adds up to the 71,000, so I just need permission to release that money back to them.
I did wanna talk about the fencing, because maybe it was an oversight at the group, or maybe it was my misunderstanding, but when we were referencing the fencing, we were referencing an example that had fencing on both sides of the path, and there's only fencing on one side of the path, and so I didn't ask to clarify a little further that it was both sides of the path, because the path we were referencing, it had it on both sides. So I see that it's complete, but I thought it was on both sides of the path. And I don't know if you had a discussion with the developer or where we drew the line of what the fencing looked like. We approved fencing, and to me, it's 50%.
No,
of what I assumed.
I think you're right on that, because removing the street lights, and the whole point of removing the street lights, because you walk on
Was
the path,
protective
but there's no fence when I'm walking on that path.
So I'm not sure where the miscommunication was, or like my interpretation, and the developer, but I don't know if I consider it finished, and so I
Alright,
wanted to have that discussion.
and I will be honest with you, I've been gone for the last several weeks in and out, and I have not had a chance to go see the whole project. I saw some of the new fencing. If you're not comfortable with it, we can postpone and bring it back on the 10th to have that discussion. I don't see Jeff online to comment on it, so.
And I didn't know if I just wanted to talk to everybody here about it and just see.
Well, I was
what you
walking
guys
the
thought.
path, and
Cause I'm out there a lot, and I was watching the process happen, and I just kind of saw that it stopped, and then I saw that it got on the agenda,
I
so.
saw that there was a toolcat buzzing around there, and I called up Casey and I'm like, what's going on? Or is the stuff out there? He's like, no, they're doing something out there. Then I saw the fencing
It
material.
looks great on one
And
side.
what they've done so far and what they've improved on in phase one. And again, it may not have just, I mean, they're coming in next week to finish up phase two. I don't know for sure, so we can postpone this, or we can, what's the term? Continue it until June 10th, and we can clarify that. I don't think,
Yeah, because the line item it was a $47,000 line item.
Right.
And so before we release that, I just want to be darn sure that we're getting what we.
no, it's a good catch, and I'm glad that you've been out there to see all of it. Yeah, I try to drive around as much as I can, or get out and walk as much as I can.
Not a problem. I also just thought like maybe I misunderstood what was committed to, so.
Well, and this request came per Galena Engineering, so I was just following what they said.
No, completely understandable. And so I think it's a discussion with.
And who's our engineer for this?
So this is where we've gone in different directions, because there is too much overlap between Galena supporting that project and Galena being the city engineers on this project. Because before it was Benchmark,
Right.
but once they consolidated into Galena Benchmark, we've lost that separation. So I think we should continue it until we have clarification, and we'll continue it to a date certain of the June 10th.
Yeah, you don't even have to, there's no special notice requirements, or anything, just put it on the agenda.
I mean, if they've done what they said they did, if it was misunderstanding, but I agree, we said that this is what the one looks like. It provides a safety corridor, that's what we're expecting. If that's not what their intention was, we can see what it would cost to, the city to put in that other chunk, so.
Yeah, but I just want to make a note that moving forward, if we are going to make adjustments, I think we need to have them in writing and approve them in writing, instead of just an open discussion where there's inconsistencies between the two opinions, but just because, that was a request coming from the developer. And I just think this is where the confusion happens.
Hopefully, there's something in minutes,
No,
I'm sure there is.
because didn't we?
There is, but I
discussed
think,
it at a meeting?
it's a misinterpretation of the
Of
visual,
fencing.
so, yeah. I would think so. Cool. Thank you guys for hearing me
do we
on
need
that.
to make a motion to continue, or?
Yeah, I just make a motion, table it or continue it, or.
Continue.
Yeah.
To a date certain.
Okay, I move to continue, discussion or continue resolution.
Continue consideration of
Okay,
resolution
thank you.
2379.
I move to continue consideration of resolution number 2379, a resolution of the city of Bellevue, Idaho, authorizing the treasurer to release $71,441 from Strayhorn Phase 2 bond savings to Strayhorn Partners LLC to a date certain of June 10th, 2024. Thank you.
Sorry, I had to. move off the
Can we do an all in favor on that one, or is that a roll call?
All in favor is good.
All in favor?
Aye.
Yes.
All right, thank you.
It's 15.
Well, John's favorite motion.
I move to adjourn.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, thank you, everyone.
You.
Sean, did you need any events people? Do
We're
you
working
think?
on it.